Welcome to Vision ProNotes. I'm Marty Gensius, a faculty member, podcaster, an Apple fan, and co-host of Vision Profiles with Eric Bolden, Dave Ginsberg, and Daniel Burkholder. ProNotes are short notes that we put out 3 times a week, Monday morning, Wednesday morning, and Friday morning. We might release this note a little bit earlier because it's Tuesday night, and the release candidate for visionOS 26 has just come out. And I went ahead and loaded it and went ahead and checked the release candidate developer notes with the previous beta, which was beta 9, and asked them to do a comparison between beta 9 and the current visionOS release candidate for 26. And there's no real clear difference between the two. There's no substantial changes between beta 9 and the release candidate. And the content sections like new features, resolved issues, known issues, depreciations, they appear text identical between what is in the beta 9 and the current release candidate. So the only thing you see in difference is a switch between the titling from beta 9 to RC. So things that are spot comparisons, Apple Store with a new feature of accessibility and nutrition labels, or if you want to call them nutrition labels, around accessibility for certain apps, using Apple Intelligence and creating foundation models, and the AR kit is the same note as it was in the previous beta. So everything is the same. And the net new items in the release candidate versus the beta 9, none were found. And so if you're a developer and you tested stuff against beta 9, you should be fine targeting your stuff with the release candidate. There's no release candidate only API change or new or removed issues from the notes. And so there's not a lot to say about the release candidate, except I put it on, and the 2 big things that people have been waiting for are there. First is the Jupyter environment. Every time a new beta came out, I'd go in and I'd check environments, and nope. We were promised a Jupyter environment back with WWDC, and sure enough, it shows up in this, and it is cool. It is really, really cool. And I wish I could have prepared a picture for you, but it doesn't do justice for me to just kind of show you the Jupyter environment. I'm not an environments guy. I basically like to have my windows up and doing my work, and it's okay that the pass-through shows, the clutter that's in my room. And so I don't get into environments like a lot of people do, and a lot of people do. They like being in immersive environments. Some of the previous environments, like the lake and the foggy stuff and all of that, gives kind of a deadened sense of what you're surrounded by. This Jupyter environment is so crisp. Unfortunately, I say that because it might draw my attention away from what my work is. Everything is very crisp in it. You look up, you can see stars. You look around, you can see the area behind you. It's just pretty remarkable. Now, again, there's some time-lapse stuff that's supposed to go on with that environment, and I didn't have it on long enough to figure out whether you would see moons shifting and stuff like that. It is essentially, as I saw it, a sort of half-sunned Jupiter, and you're viewing it from a moon that is one of Jupiter's moons. And it feels like you're sitting on this moon, and it's pretty craggy in terms of the environment that the moon is. It's not a smooth moon or what we think of as a dusty moon. It's pretty rocky, kind of cool. So that's one thing. Second thing is that bendable large screen, the 180 view, the panoramic view that you can do when you pair it with your Mac and your Mac screen. It just stretches it across the room. And I did the pairing, and that's the first thing that came up. And I went, wow. And my wife, who was downstairs doing something, was like, are you okay? It is really impressive to have this large panoramic screen if you're going to be using it. So that's the second thing that came up. So get the release candidate if you haven't gotten it. Of course, we'll get a final candidate probably very soon. But get the release candidate and check out Jupiter, and also, check out the 180 view screen that you have when you're pairing it with your Mac or with your Mac monitor. So lots of good things in this. A lot to say more than that around this episode, but so some short stuff, but some important stuff. And when I first read the release candidate stuff, I'm like, oh, I can't do a show out of this, until I put the headset on and wanted to test those two, because I didn't want to walk away without checking those out and not having that scoop for you. So you might want to take a look at the release candidate and have some fun with it if you're running the betas. So our show notes and our show ProNotes, the ProNotes, not the show notes. The ProNotes are, is a show that we do, this little clip that we do 3 days a week. You can pick it up. You can watch our whole show on Monday nights. We live stream it on YouTube at youtube.com/@visionprofiles. That's our channel. You can be part of the chat room. You can watch the live show. You can see the mistakes that we make occasionally. Well, more than occasionally. And join in that kind of fun. And we appreciate it when we have visitors on Monday night at 9 p.m. at youtube.com/@visionprofiles. You can also pick up the video later. I edit it, clean it up, and put it up on YouTube. Or you can always pick up the audio on any podcast server. I try to produce these things and get them out the same night. So thanks for joining us for Vision ProNotes. Have some fun with the new release candidate. And you can always email us at the PodTalk Network at gmail.com, or go to the website, thepodtalk.net. And that'll give you connections to all the shows that we do. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.